If fearful avoidant needed you to love them unconditionally, could you do it? Would it be difficult for you? And is that an impossible request? Is that an impossible dream? Or are we all tasked with meeting someone's unconditional love and doing exactly what they need? Would that be euphoria for you? If somebody could meet your needs unconditionally, would you like that, or would it annoy you? Would it freak some fearful avoidance out? Probably. Would it calm some fearful avoidance nerves? Absolutely. Could this be gender based? Possibly. Possibly what a woman needs is different from what a man needs. So, what could ramp up one might calm the other one. So, it could be tricky, but I think, shouldn't this be the goal? I think this is where so many of us fail at love, because love requires you to be selfless. When you have a child, you have to be selfless. You have to make sure that they have what they need, even when you're exhausted and that baby is waking you up in the middle of the night. You got to be selfless and you have to get up and feed that baby. So, when you are in a romantic relationship, can you be that selfless? Or is that a ridiculous request? Or are you selfish? I think a lot of us are selfish, if we're honest. We could want our needs met, but are you willing to meet that other person's need? I think when you get to the height of humanness, the height of, see, I think relationships are here to challenge us and make us better. They are here to push us past our limits or what we think we're capable of. It is to take you out of yourself and put you in the shoes of someone else. And if both of you are trying to meet each other's unconditional needs and love each other in that way, think about the euphoria that you would receive from that. Do you think it's possible to find a mate where you're both giving to each other unconditionally? If you need something, I'm there. If you have a want, I'm there. So you're there to meet each other's needs, but how many times do we see in relationships where one person is all about me? What can you do for me? What can you give to me? What can you make happen for me? Or we take each other for granted. I remember being younger watching TV shows and they were going, "You're taking me for granted." And I would be like, what is taking for granted? What does that mean? And now in relationship world, it's so easy to take each other for granted, because when you're in love with somebody, you'll, in some ways, you'll kind of do whatever they need, whatever they want. You make them an exception to the rule on certain things, but then does that make the other person take you for granted? Or do you have the attitude of, you're giving to me, I'm giving to you. I'm motivated to give to you because of the way that you give to me. Or I just want you to feel good about yourself. Are you willing to take that risk? Are you willing to take the risk of giving somebody unconditional love, knowing that potentially they may not give it back? I'd love your feedback on this topic, because I am not the expert of all experts. And I think, really, even though there are a lot of people out here telling you this is how love should go, this is the roadmap, it is a learning process. I think you have to be open these days to learning what works, learning your mate, figuring out what will work best. And I think if your goal is to give unconditional love, because I know most people's goal is to receive it, if we are perfectly honest, then I think you have to think also in terms of, what does your fearful avoidant person need? And if you're fearful avoidant, what do you need? I think in order to give unconditional love, you also have to explore needs. So, just like what you're watching says, if I'm trying to give you unconditional love, but I want to know what stops you. What is it that stops you from giving somebody the unconditional love that they need? It's probably because you're dealing with a flawed human being. I think not understanding that the person is flawed sets you up for failure immediately because you're going to expect them to be perfect. I know I don't want anybody to expect that I'm going to be perfect. I mean, I would love for my mate to think highly of me and to love me and think I'm amazing and cherish me. But to think that I am perfect sets me up for failure. They're going to be disappointed in me. It makes me feel like, as a fearful avoidant, that they're going to stop loving me. So I need them to a certain degree to accept the fact that I am a flawed human who might get angry, irritated, frustrated, lose my temper, be quiet sometimes, be confused sometimes, not say or do the right thing all the time. So I think that is a key component to unconditional love, is also accepting that this is a fully human person who's capable of switching up. But that switching up can really shut a fearful avoidant down if they have a mate that is always consistently calm, cool, collect, nice, happy, and then one day they explode or they're angry or in a bad mood. It's hard for a fearful avoidant to recover from that, even though they want to put you in a human light. They don't want to do whatever caused you to get upset like that. They don't want to risk that again. So then they might be trying to be too perfect. So now you don't see the fun side of them anymore because they're walking on eggshells because they don't want to be rejected or for you to leave them. And they're not sure what they did or if they did anything to cause you to get that upset. So it's a catch-22. It's like, accept my humanness, but in a way, I can't fully accept your humanness because it derails the plan. It makes me not know how to navigate anymore. So I'm saying all this because it's important for you to accept the humanness in another person, and it might also mean a conversation that you need to have so that you don't make assumptions. So, that said, let's explore some needs of someone who is fearful avoidant, because the whole point of all of this is to understand each other better. What do fearful avoidant attachment styles need in love? They need a healthy, happy relationship. That's what they want, even though they may be contributing to the toxicity of the relationship. This is going to be slightly unfair, but they need consistency, even if they're not giving you consistency. It's almost like they need it modeled for them. They need to know that you're going to stay in spite of. Now, that doesn't mean that they have permission to abuse you, mistreat you, totally do things that are relationship you should never do 101. I am not by any means saying that. I think everybody should be giving their best when it comes to relationships and dating. And even saying the word best negates fun and spontaneity and happiness and enjoyment. So it's not like a career path type of doing your best. But I just mean doing things with a conscience, being conscientious. My advice for anybody who is fearful avoidant would be to give people a chance. They are too ready to run from any romantic situation, whether it's good or bad. they're ready, always ready to run from it. Or if they don't feel instant butterflies or instantly we're in love and this is the one, that can happen to a fearful avoidant. But the possibility of you missing out on somebody who could be your true love, the potential is high because people don't often show you who they really are until they have some time to get to know you. Some people put on a little bit of a show, or not even so much a show. It's when you show up to a first date, more than likely you want to give your best effort because you know you're going to be judged. So you're going to be judged by the way that you look, by the way that you act, by the way that you carry yourself. Are you fun? Are you silly? Are you serious? Are you intelligent? So we often put on not necessarily a facade, but we're going to put on our best selves. And there's nothing wrong with that. The other part of that is some people feel incredibly shy at first because they don't know you. You are when you have a friend, you guys can jump into a conversation like, girl, guess what? I went on a date last night, or let me tell you what happened at work. These people did this to me, and it's so frustrating. You have a starting place. When you are dating someone new, you don't know them. So you really don't know where to start, how to start, what to say, what not to say. You're both feeling your way through it. And as you get deeper into the relationship, then you're going to start to quote unquote train each other in certain ways. Like this pattern works for us. We work around our work schedule. And here is a psychological tip or trick. Familiarity makes you like people more in some instances, in many instances. Think about it. There are people that you may have made assumptions about at work, people that maybe you didn't start off liking each other, but the more that you were around the person, the more you started to really like this person, and you might not have thought anything about them. So if you want somebody to like you, like if there's somebody that you really like, then you want to foster an environment for which you can be around the person as much as possible, because psychologically speaking, familiarity breeds like. So that is why I say it's probably not smart to just totally dismiss everybody that has a potential to be a great mate because you haven't gotten to know them. They are a stranger to you. So give people a chance. I can remember falling really hard for somebody that originally I felt attraction for. So I'm not saying that you meet somebody and you know right away, this person is 100% not my type. But if there's some potential there, if there's a possibility there, but your nerves are just in the way, because fearful avoidance, it's fearful for a reason. They fear love. They're scared of it. So they're always looking for an excuse to run. I would say give the person a chance. Give yourself a chance to get to know this person. Because there was a guy once that I would have missed out on so much. I felt attracted to him, but I just felt like, there's chemistry, but there's not chemistry. I thought, we're a different age, but the more I got to know him, I actually fell really hard for him, and I would have missed out on that if I had done my typical, I should be in love with him. That's what I used to think because I experienced a love at first sight experience and it wasn't that I was just totally physically attracted to him. I mean, there were things about the way he looked that I felt attracted to, But did I think he was the most handsome guy I'd ever dated? No. But the chemistry was crazy powerful. So after that, I thought, in love, you're supposed to need to fall in love right away. And now I know it doesn't always work that way. If the potential is there, give it more time, because you might be missing out on somebody that you can really love. And fearful avoidance, if you've met somebody and they're patient enough to give you a chance because they really like you and they're hanging in there with you, they probably understand how relationships work better than you might. They may have more of a patience for it. And I want you to try to give them that same courtesy by getting familiar with the person. Do not write somebody off because they are a stranger to you. That is really scary for a fearful avoidant, to take a risk with somebody that they just don't know. Like, who are you? But they mistake that for meaning, I need to run from you. You need to get to know them. You need to give them a chance to be influenced by you. Because just because somebody is fearful avoidant doesn't mean that they're not extremely intelligent and that they're not capable of giving you the best love that you've ever experienced. I think fearful avoidance can be great lovers because they understand pain. They understand what it's like to go through some things. So they can be very capable of giving you the stability and the love that you want. So when I also say that I think what fearful avoidant needs is they need for you and themselves to treat each other kindly. And sometimes people might think kindness is boring, but kindness can also involve respect, which men, we all know, want respect and women want love. So we need to really make a concerted effort to give each other that. How can you show that fearful avoidant woman that she is adored and cared about? For one thing, you can tell her that she looks beautiful, she looks pretty, give her compliments, make her feel special by holding the door for her or just being chivalrous. That can build trust. If it's a fearful avoidant man, then you want to encourage him to show his chivalrous side or things that he does for you. Let him know that you appreciate it. Give him respect. Never disrespect a fearful avoidant by blatantly insulting them. You might want to also be a little careful with the type of jokes that you make, especially if it's personal jokes. So teasing and playfulness, I'm not saying that there's no room for fun, silliness, goofiness, playfulness. I think that definitely helps. But what I'm saying is be a little cautious about personal jokes. It's kind of like I remember working with this guy and he liked to tell you, "Oh, I know you're not doing anything. I know you're not working. You're not." I mean, he would say it like, I know he was joking, but I found that to be incredibly insulting because I felt like I'm working my butt off. Like I don't even have time to eat lunch. And so to tease me in that way was just off-putting. So that's what I'm saying about being careful about how you joke with people, making fun of the way that they talk. I've seen people do that as a term of endearment where they're making fun of a woman's inflections or the way that she says a certain thing. I would say be a little cautious with that until you really get to know the person really, really well, to understand and build that trust where you can say those kinds of things. I mean, making fun of the way someone eats, for example. You eat so slow. That you don't want to do things that are going to make the other person self-conscious, where they don't feel comfortable with you. Basically, you don't want to give them a silly reason to abandon you, which is what they're looking for. They're looking for a reason to run from you. So you don't want to give people a silly reason to run from you. But at the same time, I don't want to tell you that you have to walk on eggshells to the point where it's not fun. Like you are being so careful that you can't be yourself. I just want to take a second to appreciate all the people who are watching this video and going on this journey with me and allowing me to share my journey with you guys. So I am totally open to your feedback on what your thoughts are, because as a fearful avoidant in romantic relationships, this is probably going to always be a bit of a struggle for me, but I think I've healed so much. And a lot of that comes from the comments that you guys make. And you can tell me if you agree or disagree. I am open to that. So I wrote a book not knowing that I was writing it from a fearful avoidant perspective. I was really writing it to try to get a handle on my own love life and relationships and things that I found that helped me, and trying to use that to help other people. So check that out. I'll put the link in the description box. It's called Flip the Script on Love by Tamara Hunter Zyon. It's on Amazon. Also, another thing that got in my way is that I kept meeting narcissists. So I wrote a book about what I learned from that. So check that out, because you do not. I'm watching this guy right now on YouTube getting attached to a narcissist, and I want to go, hello, you really need to stop making videos with her. She's a narcissist. So check that out. It's called The Workplace Narcissist. And I also wrote a book about the 16 Myers-Briggs personality types. To me, it's the most accurate personality descriptions that you can ever find about people. And when you find your own, you'll be shocked by it. So check those out. I'll put the links in the description box. Be sure to like the video and also subscribe so that we can continue hanging with each other. I do not want to lose touch with you. So I will see you on the next video. Bye.